can hear some bits inside the exhaust. Let's see what they are. What's up, jet ski fans? Welcome to another Joel Arsenault YouTube video. In this one, well, you guys have seen I've got the X2 fired up with the DC-CDI on it. I did some porting on it, powder coating, got it all back together, and I am finally taking it out to the lake to test it. It has been sounding a little bit strange on the bench, but I've run it a few times. I've run it with water running to it, and I'm just gonna go for it, drive to the lake, and hope that everything works out right. But as you guys have seen in the past videos and past years, it's pretty much a drama every time I take this thing out, so it should be interesting. I'm doing a few last things before I take the X2 out on the water and test it. It is currently Sunday evening. I'm supposed to get a battery for it on Thursday. I ordered a new battery because the old lithium-ion one split open, as did the one before that. So, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 3 times, and that's pretty profitable for you. I got a Noco brand one this time, still through Amazon, but I'm hoping this one lasts a little better. I've got no real good reason to believe that it will. I just think lithium-ion batteries are probably not the answer for something like this. As you guys can see, as per usual, whenever there's a box with something that might be a bit sensitive in it, it gets smashed around. Oh my goodness, how many boxes are there gonna be? Noco lithium, it says 500 amps, 4 amp hour? I don't know. Let's just get into it and see what's going on. Their packaging is a little bit over the top. Personally, I would prefer if they didn't do as ridiculous a packaging and sold their product at a lower price, or made their product better. This is how many spacers they give you. Plus this. That is absolutely ridiculous. The battery itself looks to be pretty good quality. I just read through the cleaning instructions on the battery, and it says if you get any liquid on it or contamination, to wipe it off immediately. So I am going to have to seal up the battery compartment. I'm going to use tacky tape to hold a piece of plastic down over the top of this and hope that that works. Should be able to make little indents in this to figure out where to make the holes for the battery. Tap on this. Okay, I've got one hole drilled out. Let's see if it's anywhere near where I wanted it to be. Sure. Did I even hit in the right spot? I am worried about the thickness of the tacky tape and what that's going to do for the attachment of the seat. Let's hope that this seals up. I have a feeling that I won't have any trouble sealing up around this area because, well, the rivets are going to be putting a substantial amount of force down on that tacky tape. Alright, I'm going to start peeling from the back and hope that it comes up. There we go. How about this side? Are we gonna have trouble on this side? Nope. Now all I need to do is seal up the hole where the water comes out of the compartment, because if I don't, water will get in through that hole. I've got the lid on, I've got the drain sealed up so that water can't come in through the drain. I removed the E-box and sealed it up. I decided to seal it with black silicone, and I've got it back together. I haven't tried to fire it up yet, but I put everything back the way it was, so I assume it will fire up. I had to make some modifications to the seat to get it to actually go on. I don't think I showed any of that, but the connectors here, before the connectors were sitting down in, these seats are problematic as it is, so making it not as good, probably not a brilliant idea, but I want it to get out tomorrow, and this was the solution that I came up with to make that happen. So I've got to go over and do a few checks. This thing is obnoxiously loud. I do want to hook the water up to it and let it run for a little while. Maybe do a little bit of engine break-in and kind of check for leaks and stuff, but yeah, this thing is obnoxious. So I've decided that I'm going to relocate the water filter to this location. It's kind of just dangling around here now. So what I came up with was this. Those of you who know jet skis will know that this is a little brackety thing that bolts onto the engine somewhere. You put your plug wires on it when you're turning it over, so that it's not making just wild sparks everywhere and you catch your jet ski on fire or blow it up. So I cut one of the little tabs off that has the bolt tab on it, and then I drilled a hole through the end of it. I don't know if the camera will pick that up, but I drilled a little hole or slot through the back of that. And so now this bracket, I don't know if I can do this one-handed, but this bracket will bolt on to the stator cover right there. And it will also slide up through that little slot in the filter. And then I am going to probably put a little bit of silicone in around this before I pop rivet it in place. There must be an accident. Oh boy. I should have checked with maps before I headed out. This might not be the smartest route. I am kind of nervous. I've got the X2 loaded up. Since I've driven it last, I have taken the engine completely apart, ported it, put a new CDI on it, and powder coated it, did a bunch of other stuff. I am about as worried about my knee as I am about the jet ski. For those of you who don't remember or haven't seen the videos, I broke my knee the last time I was out riding. And I haven't been saying anything about it, partly because I haven't been making any videos, and partly because I don't want to come across like I'm whining about it, but my knee recovered really quickly at first. The bone was completely healed. I was given the okay to do physiotherapy, and then, yeah, well, I don't want to talk about it, but I neglected to do any physiotherapy. I did exercises before my physio, but nothing, yeah. Anyway, headed to the lake, worried about my knee, worried about the jet ski. Please don't rear end my jet ski. Have to try to drive really predictably here, so this person behind me is driving quite close. Let's see, what's on fire? Is it just a controlled burn? Yeah, they're not putting it out. What? They're just watching it burn. supposed to be a 70% chance of rain today. It was supposed to be not very nice. I almost decided not to come out because I figured it was going to be miserable. But it looks beautiful. It doesn't just look beautiful, it is beautiful. This wetsuit is quite the challenge to get on that first time of the season. It's a challenge to get on every time.
Rico wants you to do a backflip.
A backflip? I don't think that's gonna happen today. Maybe not today. You wanna try? You wanna try to do a backflip?
You're gonna do a backflip? Oh, you forgot your little life jacket. Too bad.
Ah, too bad. Something's not right. Something is definitely not right. Oh boy. So it looks like in all the commotion, I managed to leave the main ground wire that grounds literally everything. I'm glad the bolt didn't fall out. So I'm gonna tighten that bolt up. It grounds, it even grounds the kill switch, I think, so yeah. What the heck? What the heck? That doesn't make any sense. They're starting and running the bad ground. I did put 9s in it, but that shouldn't. Yeah, as soon as I load it up. Maybe it's got a bad water leak, but I don't think so. As you guys can see, everything didn't go exactly according to plan. I'm fairly convinced that I left the wrong ignition map in this thing. We were playing around with it in the last video, trying to figure out what some of the issues were. And yeah, I think I may have left the wrong map in it, and that's why it was sounding weird when it was sitting on the bench. It was doing some weird burbly backfiring noises. Instead of grabbing Megan's computer and rechecking the map, I just decided to drive an hour and a half out to the lake to try it. The really annoying thing is that I knew it sounded funny. It makes this weird burbly kind of half backfire. Yeah, it just makes this real weird burbly noise, like it was not firing right or something. And I knew that. I heard it doing it. But today was the only day that I could make it out. I might be able to make it out later this week. Work is slowing down a little bit, but when BJ and I were trying to figure out what was wrong, we started playing around with the timing to try to see if we could kind of, yeah, we were moving the time. We could tell it was firing way too early at certain points, and so we were changing the map to stuff that didn't make sense just to try to make it, see what would happen basically. And one of those maps might still be in it. I can't remember if I changed it back. I thought I changed it back, but I don't have a PC, so I was using Megan's, and so I never hooked it up again to check. which is stupid. But that's just the way I am. I would rather drive 3 hours round trip and put it in the water and try it than hook it up to a computer, because that would mean that I have to ask somebody to borrow their computer. It would literally take 10 or 20 minutes, but I don't have a PC and I would have to ask to use one. So I drove an hour and a half here, and now I'm going to drive an hour and a half back to see if the timing map is right. As you guys can see, I've made it back to the shop and I've started to try to diagnose the X2. Although there was the incorrect map in it, I think we've got a few more issues than that. So I'm going to throw the compression tester on it and see what that says. Last year I had some issues with this. It was doing some funny things, kind of like it's doing now. And so we'll test the compression and see what that tells us. Having a little bit of deja vu here, folks. Pardon the airplane, but I just did a compression test on the front and the middle cylinder. Front is 110, center 60 psi. Let's check the rear. Zero on the back. So there you have it, folks. I blew up my engine in about 3 minutes because I ran the wrong timing map because I was too stubborn to ask for a computer. There, that's what my rear piston looks like. Pretty nasty. I somehow broke... Did I put the pistons in backwards? What the... I think... Well, I know what it was, and it wasn't timing. I am embarrassed to say this. I don't even want to release this on video, but I managed somehow to put all of the pistons in backwards, which means that the split in the ring was in the exhaust instead of being on the inlet side. I do not know how I managed to do this. This is an expensive brain fart because, yeah, it did a lot of damage to the cylinders. Hopefully I can use them, because if not, I did a whole lot of porting for nothing. Yeah, I might have junked my cylinders. These might need to be re-sleeved. I'll have to do some measuring and see, but that was probably the worst mistake I've ever made as an engine builder. I'm glad that I didn't do this for someone else. I don't know how I know how I did this. If you look back at the video where I built it, I was rushing through to get it done, and I think I did it, it was either like midnight or just before midnight. Wait, I mean midnight or just after midnight, like 1 a.m. Beyond that, I've also damaged my cylinder head, which I've put many hours of work into, and so I'm now either going to need to repair that or just scrap the whole idea and go with another head. I do have another head that I can put on it, but yeah. Anyway, let's see what size pistons I actually have. They're in these, I believe, WSM boxes, but they're Wiseco pistons. So the last 4 digits are 8200, so I'm guessing they're 82 millimeter. I'll take a picture of the piston and verify that. Alright, so this might be good news. The difference in the pistons is 2 millimeters, which still only means 1 millimeter of removal of material off of each side of the liner. So the overall diameter of the piston is 2 millimeters larger. That's 1 millimeter on each side. How much is it going to cost me to do that? It's going to cost more than your average bore job because more material will be removed. And also, how long is it going to take? I might get around to measuring these cylinders and trying to see how much damage is actually in here. But for now, I'm gonna go in and lick my wounds. So in my next video, I'm going to be boring out my cylinders that I took about a month to port. I'm gonna have to do some repairs to my cylinder head that I spent about a week modifying. And in order to do that, I'm gonna have to make some special tools. I'm making a boring tool because it's gonna take about a month and a half to have somebody else do it. So you can look forward to that. If you liked what you saw in this video, remember to give it a like. If you want to see more of this nonsense, remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.